Pause. If you've dreamt of ladders recently, you need to hear this. It wasn't a coincidence you're here. It wasn't the algorithm. It was something bigger. In 1930, at the Niepokalana monastery in Poland, a Franciscan friar woke up in a panic. His name was Maximiliano Kolbe. He'd just had the same dream for the 7th night in a row. Ladders. But these weren't ordinary ladders. And what he discovered about these dreams would save thousands of lives in the years to come, including, perhaps, yours. Pay close attention to what I'm about to say, because the church hid this for decades, not out of malice, but because not everyone was ready to understand. Kolbe documented everything, every dream, every detail, every interpretation he received in prayer, and the pattern he uncovered is disturbing. Whenever someone dreams repeatedly about ladders, the spiritual world is trying to communicate something urgent, something it can't convey any other way. But here's the problem. 90% of people interpret it wrong. They think it's about climbing the corporate ladder, about progress, about evolution. No, Kolbe discovered it's far more serious than that. Let me tell you what happened to him after those dreams. On the 7th day, after the 7th dream, Kolbe was praying in the chapel when he had a vision. Mary appeared and said just 3 words, "Go up or go down." He didn't understand until 2 weeks later, he received a letter. His superiors wanted him to go to Japan. Nobody understood why. Japan was closed to Christianity. It was dangerous. It was insane. But Kolbe remembered the dreams, the ladders. The choice, go up or go down. He went, and here begins the part that will chill you to the bone. In Japan, Kolbe had the same dreams. But now the ladders were different. Some climbed towards light. Others descended into darkness. And there were people, hundreds of people climbing and descending. He would wake up sweating, trembling, because on the ladders going down, he recognized faces. One day, during Mass, a Japanese woman approached him weeping. "Father," she said, "I dream of ladders every night. I'm climbing, but my hands slip. I always wake up falling." Kolbe froze. It was exactly like one of his dreams. He asked, "How long has this been going on?" 7 weeks, Father. 7. Always 7. Kolbe instructed her to do something specific, something Mary had revealed to him about these dreams. 3 days later, the woman returned, transformed. "Father, the dream changed. Now I'm climbing, and at the top, there's light." 2 weeks later, she discovered she was pregnant. Doctors had said it was impossible, but it happened. Coincidence? Wait, there's more, much more. Kolbe began to map the dreams, every type of ladder, every direction, every detail, and he discovered codes, spiritual codes that God uses to warn his children. Wooden ladders, urgent family decisions. Stone ladders, spiritual foundations being tested. Broken ladders, relationships in danger. Infinite ladders, misunderstood life mission. Spiral ladders, spiritual confusion, need for clarity. But the most disturbing were the inverted ladders. Yes, people dreamed of climbing downwards, descending upwards, defying logic. Kolbe discovered that these dreams appeared 40 days before major trials, always 40 days, like Jesus in the desert, like the flood, like so many biblical moments. It was the final warning. In 1941, before being arrested by the Nazis, Kolbe had his last dream with ladders. This time, he was in the middle, neither climbing nor descending, still. And a voice said, The choice has been made. Prepare the others. He woke up and wrote feverishly. Pages and pages about the spiritual meaning of dreams with ladders, instructions, prayers, protections. He hid everything. The Nazis never found it, but a surviving monk kept it and passed it on. From monastery to monastery, from chosen soul to chosen soul, until it reached you, today, now, because if you're here, if you've dreamed of ladders, you've been marked. Don't be afraid. Being marked isn't a curse. It's a calling, but you need to understand what it means. And more importantly, what to do. See, the spiritual world can't speak clearly to us. There are rules, limits. Free will must be respected. So they use symbols, dreams, signs, and ladders. Ladders are the universal symbol of transition between worlds. Jacob saw ladders with angels ascending and descending. The pyramids are ladders to heaven. The Tower of Babel was a blasphemous ladder. Always ladders when heaven wants to speak to earth. Now tell me, what were your ladders like? Because every detail matters, every element has meaning. Were you climbing? Your spirit is ascending, but something wants to pull you down. Were you descending? Beware, there are areas of your life in spiritual freefall. Did the ladder break? A relationship or situation about to collapse needs urgent intervention. Could you neither climb nor descend? You are in a spiritual limbo. An important decision is paralyzed. Were there other people? These are souls connected to your destiny, for better or for worse. Did the ladder end somewhere? That is your destination if you continue on your current path. Did it have no end? Your life mission has not yet been fully revealed. But here's what most people don't know. And Kolbe discovered in the worst possible way. Ignoring these dreams has consequences. Remember the Japanese woman. She wasn't the only one. Hundreds sought Kolbe with the same pattern, dreams with ladders, a sense of urgency, inexplicable fear. Those who listened and acted, their lives changed. Those who ignored, let me tell you about Takeshi. 40 days before significant life changes, 7 days before crucial decisions, 3 days before immediate dangers, at the exact moment of spiritual transitions. If you dreamt it once, it's a warning. 3 times, it's urgent. 7 times? Kolbe said, 7 times means heaven is shouting, and when heaven shouts, you'd better listen. Now think, how many times have you dreamt it? More importantly, what happened in your life afterward? Because I bet there were changes, strange situations, doors opening or closing, people entering or leaving your life. The dreams were the warning, the events, the confirmation. But most people only connect the dots too late, like Anna Maria from Sao Paulo. I mean, like Emily Carter from New York. Emily sought me out, desperate. She'd been dreaming of crystal ladders for weeks. In the dream, she climbed, but the steps began to crack beneath her feet. "Father," she cried, "I wake up in panic. I feel something terrible will happen to my family." I asked for details. Cracking crystal ladders signify painful revelations arriving, hidden truths about to surface. I taught her Kolbe's protocol. 3 days later, she discovered her husband had another family. Did it hurt? Terribly. But she was prepared, protected, strengthened. Instead of despair, she felt clarity. Instead of hatred, she found purpose. Instead of destruction, there was reconstruction. Today, she helps other women. Her pain became her mission. Her dream, her awakening. See the difference? The dream itself doesn't change. The warning is the same. But your response determines everything, and that's where Kolbe's protocol comes in. He called it the response to celestial ladders. It's a set of spiritual actions you should take immediately after dreaming about ladders. It's not superstition, it's pure spiritual technology, based on centuries of mystical wisdom and confirmed by thousands of testimonies. But there's a condition. It only works if you really want to understand. If you're willing to hear what heaven is saying, if you have the courage to change what needs changing. Because sometimes the warning of the ladders is to change everything, as it was with Kolbe himself. After his dreams in Japan, he understood. He needed to build the Nagasaki monastery. Everyone said he was crazy. The land was bad. The location was terrible. Nothing made sense, but the dreams showed. Ladders of light ascending from that very spot. He built there. Years later, the atomic bomb fell. Nagasaki turned to ashes, but the monastery remained. Standing, protected by the mountain everyone said was a problem, the monks survived. The ladders of light from the dreams were real. Divine protection manifested in geography. Kolbe didn't live to see it, but he knew. The dreams showed him. Now think about your dream. Where did your ladders lead? What was at the top or the bottom? What was the feeling? Because each element is a word in the divine message, and there's more. The colors in the ladders of your dreams. Kolbe discovered that each color carries a specific spiritual frequency. White ladders, purification coming. Prepare for deep spiritual cleansing. Black ladders, confrontation with inner shadows. Something hidden needs to come to light. Golden ladders, divine blessing on its way, but it will require sacrifice. Red ladders, passion or danger, intense love, or imminent conflict. Blue ladders, direct celestial communication. Mary is trying to speak to you, but what frightened Kolbe most were the transparent ladders, people climbing into emptiness, stepping on the invisible, trusting what they couldn't see. These, he wrote, are those chosen for absolute faith. God is testing whether they trust him, even without seeing the path. Now, the protocol. When Kolbe had the final vision about the dreams with ladders, Mary gave him precise instructions. A method to transform the warning into protection, fear into strength, confusion into clarity. He called it the 7 steps of the response. First step, acknowledgement. As soon as you wake up from the dream, before getting up, before opening your eyes completely, say, I acknowledge the message, I am listening. Why? Because the spiritual world needs to know that you are aware, that you are not ignoring, that the communication has been received. Kolbe discovered that people who did this immediately had clearer dreams in the following nights, as if the communication channel opened wider. Second step, the record. Write down the dream, every detail. It doesn't matter if it seems silly or meaningless. Write it down. Kolbe kept a specific diary. He discovered patterns that only appeared when he saw multiple dreams together. The mind forgets, he said, but ink remembers, and God speaks through patterns. Use these questions. How many steps were there? What material was the ladder made of? Was I going up or down? Was anyone with me? What did I feel? Fear, peace, urgency? What was at the top or bottom? Was the ladder stable or moving? Third step, the prayer of discernment. This is the prayer that Mary taught Kolbe specifically for dreams with ladders. Mary, Mother of Fire, celestial wisdom, you who are Jacob's ladder by which God descends to us, illuminate the meaning of this message. Show me what heaven wants to say. Give me courage to climb if I must climb, wisdom to descend if I must descend, and strength to stand still if I must wait. May I not climb out of pride, nor descend out of fear, but follow only the divine will. By the steps of your humility, lead me to the truth of this warning. Amen. Pray this 3 times a day for 3 days after the dream. In the morning, at noon, and before bed. Why 3 times 3? Kolbe explained, the Trinity speaking to our Trinity, body, soul, and spirit. Fourth step, the fast of clarity. The day after the dream, do a small fast. It doesn't have to be food. It can be something you enjoy. Coffee, sweets, social. Media, TV, something that takes up space in your life. Why? Kolbe discovered that fasting creates emptiness, and in that emptiness, the divine voice echoes more clearly. When we remove the superfluous, he taught, the essential appears. During the fast, whenever you feel like having what you're fasting, ask, what is my soul really seeking? The answer that comes is usually connected to the meaning of the dream. Fifth step, the symbolic action. This one is powerful, and few know it. Based on your dream, perform a physical action that represents your response to the warning. If you dreamed of climbing, climb real stairs, praying an Our Father on each step. If you dreamed of descending, descend to a low place, basement, valley, and pray for humility. If the ladder broke, repair something broken in your house while asking for restoration. If you couldn't go up or down, stand still for 33 minutes in silent prayer. Kolbe always did this. When he dreamt of iron ladders before his imprisonment, he spent the day working on the monastery's iron gate, blessing each bar. The body needs to speak the language the soul understands, he used to say. Sixth step, the spiritual consultation. Seek someone you trust and share your dream, but not just anyone, someone who lives a life of prayer, has experienced mystical encounters, won't judge or dismiss you, can listen with their heart. Why? Kolbe discovered that God often uses others to complete the interpretation. The Holy Spirit speaks through the community, he taught. Sometimes the missing piece is in a brother's heart. Seventh step, the protective vigil. This is the most important and the most powerful. On the seventh night after the dream, hold a vigil. It doesn't have to be the entire night, maybe from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. During this hour, light 7 small candles, or 1 7-day candle. 2. Place a glass of water to represent clarity. 3. Hold a miraculous medal or crucifix. 4. Pray the rosary, meditating on the glorious mysteries. Finally, perform the consecration of the steps. The consecration of the steps is as follows. By the power of the blood of Christ, by the mantle of the Virgin Mary, by the intercession of Saint Maximiliano Kolbe, I consecrate each step of my path. Those I ascend be for your glory. Those I descend be in humility. Those missing you will provide. Those broken you will restore. May each of my steps be guided, each choice illuminated, each warning understood, each protection activated. I am your servant in the heights, your child in the depths, your warrior in the plains, your protected one everywhere. May the ladders of my dreams become paths of blessing, and may I always ascend to your heart. Amen. Now, let me tell you what happened to Father Anthony of Lisbon. He learned this protocol directly from a monk who knew Kolbe. For years, he helped people with prophetic dreams. One day, an entire family came to him. Father, mother, 3 children, all dreaming of ladders. But each saw something different. The father saw marble ladders, ascending into clouds. The mother saw wooden ladders, descending into water. The oldest son saw broken ladders floating. The middle child saw endless spiral ladders. The youngest saw ladders of pure light. I had never seen anything like it. An entire family receiving warnings. We applied the protocol. Each one did their 7 steps. In the final vigil, they prayed together. That's when the youngest, only 8 years old, said, I see now. Our ladders connect. They form a house. 3 days later, they discovered that their grandmother was ill, terminally ill. She had hidden it from everyone. The ladders were the warning. Each vision represented how each would cope with the loss. The father would seek heaven, marble to clouds. The mother would be overcome with grief, wood to water. The oldest would feel lost, broken ladders. The middle child would be consumed by questions, endless spiral. The youngest would be the family's light, ladders of light. Prepared by the warning, they faced it differently. They created a support system. Each tended to their own ladder and helped the others. The grandmother passed away peacefully. The family remained united. The ladders that could have separated them, united them. But the endings aren't always happy when we ignore the warnings. Let me tell you about Mark. Mark was a businessman. He dreamed of escalators, always broken. He climbed with force, step by step, sweating. While others passed him on working escalators, he sought help. I explained, broken escalators mean you're forcing a path that isn't yours. The excessive effort is a sign that you're headed in the wrong direction. He laughed. Father, in the business world, only those who work hardest win. I tried to explain the protocol. He refused. I don't have time for these things. 6 months later, a heart attack. He survived by a miracle. From the hospital, he sent a message. Father, I dreamed again. But now the escalator works, and I'm going down. Slowly, peacefully. He lost his company. He gained his life. The ladders warned him. He finally listened. Do you understand now why your dream is important? It's not just a dream. It's a map, a warning, a chance. Kolbe said, God doesn't send signs to scare us, but to save us. Each ladder in your dream is a possibility. Each step is a choice. Each direction is a destination. And you have the power to choose, but you need to act now. Because dreams with ladders have an expiration date. The warning doesn't last forever. The window of opportunity closes. Kolbe discovered this when he ignored a dream at the beginning. He thought it was just fatigue. He didn't give it importance. 2 weeks later, he missed the chance to save a friend from suicide. The dream showed his friend falling from an infinite ladder. If he had acted, he never ignored a dream again. He never let a warning pass again. And you? How long will you wait? Look, I know it seems strange that in the modern world, talking about prophetic dreams sounds medieval. But tell me, did technology end the spiritual world? Did WhatsApp cancel the angels? Did the internet turn off God? No, the ways God speaks haven't changed. We're the ones who stopped listening, but the ladders keep appearing. The warnings keep coming. For those who have eyes to see, and you saw, you dreamed. You were chosen to receive a warning straight from heaven. The question isn't whether you believe, it's what you're going to do with it. Because I can guarantee one thing. In a few months, you'll look back and see. The dream was right. The warning was real. The ladders showed the way. The only question will be, did you go up, go down, or stay put? Let me end with a story Kolbe used to tell. A man dreamed he was climbing a very tall ladder. At the top there was a golden door. He climbed with fear but determination. He woke up before reaching the top. He spent years wondering what was behind the door. He only found out on his deathbed when the dream returned. But now he reached the top. He opened the door, and do you know what was there? Another ladder, starting where the first one ended, because the spiritual journey has no end. Each arrival is a new beginning. Each answer opens new questions. Your dreams with ladders are only the beginning of a journey that Kolbe knew well, that thousands have followed, heeding the warnings, that now opens to you. But you need to take the first step. Do the protocol. Follow the 7 steps. Answer the call. Your dream was the invitation. This knowledge is the map. Your decision is the key. And at the top of your ladder, only you will discover what awaits. But one thing is certain. It will be exactly what your soul needs, at the exact moment, in the perfect way, because God doesn't get the address wrong when sending a message. And if the message came to you through ladders in dreams, it's because you have an important ascent ahead of you, or a necessary descent, or a moment to stop and wait. Whatever it is, do it consciously. Do it with the protocol. Do it with the blessing of those who have already walked this path. Kolbe died so these secrets could reach you. Use them today, before the ladders vanish from your dreams, and with them, the chance to change everything. The choice is yours. The ladders are waiting. Climb or descend, but don't ignore them. Never ignore when heaven builds ladders to you.